Hello, everyone, and welcome to Twillow Stache. This is a special edition. It's our Twillow Talk Twillow Stache. As we always do, we have Twillow Talk at 5 p.m. and every month we have our awesome third guest, Gerald, join us. Hello, Gerald.
Hello, glad to be here.
TarotStache. And this week, by special request, we have Diane back. You guys all requested this, so here we are. So we have Diane back. Welcome, Diane G. And of course, Jen, who is my usual co-host as always. And we are super happy to have you all here with us today. So usually we do a quick little round around what's happening overall, and then we will jump into Akashic Records discussions around stuff. So welcome, everyone. Thank you. And we have Kaylee here going whoop whoop. She's excited. And we have Sherry Mo. Welcome.
Hi, Sherry.
We have Kathy, MJ, Myra D. Welcome. Hola, mama. Hola. Alrighty. So let me see what we have on tap for our energies today. We have the Schumann resonant is calm today. It is 7. So that's pretty low. It's good. It's a good number. We like that. We did have some spikes over the weekend. Of course, we had Lionsgate, which was intense this time. As we know, it was, I'm sure you guys were feeling it. And you can see here in the graph that we had some little spikies there over the weekend, which comes with that. I don't know about you guys, but I was feeling it. So let me know how you did over the weekend with everything. And, we're going into eclipse season, so that's going to bring in some stuff as well. We have our solar flares, which were quite quiet the last day or so. And our KP index, you see a little bit of enough elevated stuff here in around the Lion's Gate. So that's where we're seeing some of that energy coming in. Jen, what's going on with our neutrinos?
There we go. I needed to unmute. Sorry, we had some thunder and the dogs decided to go a little wild. So I put it over here. All right. So last week I mentioned we were heading into the 7, and we're actually going to be there for another day or two. This is the army, the role of the self. This is the elected leaders. We talked about leadership and all last time. And then on the 12th, which is also on the new moon, which is also on the solar eclipse, which is also at the peak of the Palisades meteor shower, we're going to be switching into the gate 4, youthful folly. And so this energy is really quite amazing in terms of what it represents and how it's kind of being demonstrated for us. I know I put the weekly update up late. I just put it up. But I talk about, a bit of what's going on with all of the energies. And right now we're looking at this kind of shift in sequence where 7 was about leadership and guidance, and then 4 is about understanding. So we're moving, that energy is, reminding us what wise leadership is and how it's not about having all of the answers, but about cultivating the right relationship with the questions. And then gate 4 is opening to us that ability to move into those questions. So it moves us from the shadow of intolerance into the city of forgiveness through the gift of understanding. So the energy this week is really, from the 12th on, is going to be all about the beliefs that we carry about ourselves, about others, and about how life should be. So if you notice that you're having any kind of judgment or this need to kind of defend, just notice that and see, okay, what is it that is going on inside of me that I want to shift here? Because it's about, again, that intolerance is about defending our certainty, right? I'm right. You just don't understand. It's actually really interesting. these patterns, even though we're not in the energy yet, are coming up even in conversations as we're moving towards that, because it is that self-leadership energy. And how do I guide myself when all this other stuff is coming at me, other people's beliefs, or the way that other people are expecting me to show up or thinking that I am. And so if you're noticing that there's like rigid thinking or judgment or a need to be right, then there's some shadow energy there that's there to guide you, right? So noticing like what is not agreeing with me, what is tightening inside of me, what is it that I could become a little bit more curious about? Because in that curiosity is where we let go of the certainty, and we're able to start to move from, am I right, to what can I learn here? And, I say it all the time, open and curious. And this energy is so in alignment with that, because in that openness, we're able to listen more deeply. We're able to have more thoughtful reflections. And that curiosity actually can help us to lead into better discernment. So what's really neat, going back into the energy update for the week that I talked about, is because right now we're going to be going into the new moon, and we know that the new moon is about like, what is it that we want to bring in? What is it that we want to shift and change in our experience? It's happening with that solar eclipse where it's kind of blocking out the light. Now, depending on where you are in the world, you might not get the total solar eclipse. I think that's over on like Russia and over there. In Canada, we're going to see it just a little bit. But the idea is that here we are getting into this place of darkness where we have to sit back and wait for the light. And this is right again at the height of the meteor shower. So those lights are going to like come in and just spark different things for us. Now, how cool is this energetically? Like, here we are in this energy of understanding, recognizing that we're not meant to see the big picture. We're only meant to see the sparks as they come through. And things are made a little bit more shaded, a little bit more shadow, just so that the light is that much brighter and clearer when we're meant to see it and meant to know. So the affirmation, actually, let's do the journal prompt. So a couple things to reflect on. What belief, I'll be the quick, what belief might be ready to evolve? What would change if I listened simply? Sorry, I might need to come back too. She doesn't want to listen. This is part of the problem. Baby, we're listening right now. What would change if I listened simply to understand? And where can I offer greater compassion to myself? So the affirmation is, I choose curiosity over certainty. I listen with an open mind and an open heart. As understanding deepens, forgiveness arises naturally. So I'm going to put that in there, and I'm going to mute myself and go put them outside and see how that goes. I'll be right back.
Awesome. Thank you for that. And what have you guys been noticing the last week? Gerald, what have you noticed the last week in energies?
People are losing their brains.
Yes.
That's not the word I was going to use, but people are they're not patient with themselves. They're not patient with other people. And it feels a lot of bait and switch, a lot of energy, that opportunity to be looked at is people aren't following it deeply enough. They're not going, well, it's this, but let's go to that layer, and then let's go to that layer. So what do you think, Diane?
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you. People are just, they've been difficult in these past days. Like, our patience aren't the usual. A lot of people lose their minds over the smallest things, and I'm like, what is happening? And then I realize, oh, it's all of these energies kind of like being back to back to back, and it's just happening one after the other. So for me, the energy has felt heavy this past week, but I feel like it's getting lighter a bit.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. I felt it was very heavy last week, and today feels better. Like I had,
Yeah, it got better.
it felt like, okay, now I'm not in the mud. I can actually step forward. You know,
Yeah,
it's kind of it was better that way. But I have felt like there's so much energy coming in that it almost comes in as an overwhelm, like overstimulation. You know, that feeling like, oh my gosh, okay, ground. I need to ground. That feeling.
Yeah.
Have you felt, Jen?
Yeah, well, I caught some of what you were sharing while I was dealing with the beasties. But I didn't really talk about it because I talked about it last week. But the gate that we're currently in, that gate 7, with the army, right? It's the shadow of division that moves us to the Siddhi of virtue through the gift of guidance. And so I think that, you know, people that are kind of in that place of, you know, wanting to have the polarization, the judgments, the competition, the mistrust, like all of the kind of nuances of what you're sharing are the shadows of the energy that we're in. And now here we are. We just went through Lionsgate. We're having, you know, a lot of this very strong collective energy that's leading towards change. And so depending on where we're sitting in the energy, if we're sitting in that shadow aspect of it, then it's heightened in the divisiveness part of it. Right? Versus if we're sitting in, you know, the gift of it, it's like, okay, how can we bring this together? How can we understand this more? How can we work through this together? Right. But, you know, depending on where we're at any given moment, we ebb and flow between these things. We're not ever just in one or the other.
And we're not patient with ourselves.
No.
And we're not patient. Well, I can only speak for Gerald, you know, for entertainment purposes only, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, part of me, I just go, what the actual, and then I've learned to go, okay, this is more about me than the other person. I don't know their full story, nor have I been kind or generous to give enough space for them to share their story or their experience. And I see Hershey is here and Timmy is here, and Hershey, the shadow reader, she does a lot of work, and they do blind spot works, and part of what is happening is people may be, and this is Gerald's opinion, that's going to be the phrase. This is Gerald's opinion. Don't come after me, YouTube. It's okay. Come after me. It's fine.
Your computer says go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Good information.
I don't care. But people aren't allowing the honor and the joy of what they're experiencing, whatever energy is there. And yes, things are tough in the world. That being said, what we choose to do with our attention can either mean it can be a shorter time period, it can be a really rich, deep, and learning experience. It could be an opportunity for connection. It could be an opportunity for me to slow down and go, wait a minute, you know, what's going on? Gerald, you noticing something? And simply by saying, Gerald, you're noticing something, suddenly things shift. And you know, it's like, oh, I'm getting new information. It's like, you know, there's what's the word? You know, I get frustrated when people say, oh, I'm getting an upgrade. Well, maybe, but you've got to be willing to use the upgrade in order to have that be a benefit. And so there's just a lot of opportunity that if we slow down, and by slowing down, I mean take a breath, Gerald. Just take a freaking breath. You don't need to have the answer now. There's power in silence, and part of that silence is to hear the things that we don't usually listen to and allow them to show up.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense to anybody else?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This has been the message for the last little while, is very much that idea of I need to allow myself to just figure out the next best step. I don't have to have the answer. I don't have to know where this is going to lead or what the end result is going to be. It's just enough for me to have and I use the example of like the Desert Fathers, and it's that, I have enough light in my lantern to see my next step or two.
Yeah.
That's it. The rest of it, I don't know what it's going to be, and that's okay.
Jennifer, you and I have talked a lot about noticing and the importance of noticing. And sometimes the right next step is saying, I don't know the next right step.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You just name something. There's a lot of honoring in that, because if you can name something clearly and you wait, I'm a firm believer the universe, whatever you want to call it, says, oh, you don't know what the next step is? I'm going to nudge you in 3 different directions. Your choice.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. And that's the beauty of it. The comment there of Bonzo being a control freak, right? It's that energy where we have this perception of control, but we don't have control of anything external to ourselves. We only have control of ourselves and how we show up. And even then, we don't always have conscious control of it if we're, if our nervous system is taking us somewhere else. And so we do recognize that, even if I don't know the next step, or maybe I have 3 paths in front of me and I don't know which one to take, sometimes that actually means any of them are okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. And feeling into it to decide what your heart really wants.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then learning to trust that you can manage whatever comes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I've had experiences in my life where I thought, oh, I'm making this very definitive decision and this is the path that I'm going down. And then years later in my life, I realized that even if I had made that other decision, I probably would have ended up in the same place because of stuff that came to light in that situation or with that person or whatever as well. It wouldn't have gone the same. It wouldn't have been exactly the same. But if I'm meant to have a particular experience, I'm going to have that experience. And, we get to choose maybe, we get to choose our heart sometimes in that where, maybe I could have gotten the experience in a little bit of a different way than the way that I got it. And maybe another experience, it would have been slightly different again. But if there's something that's meant for us, we're gonna move through it. I'm gonna run to bring the dogs in. I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. One of the questions that I get asked often whenever we do Akashic Records readings is, am I on the right path? So our conversation is bringing me back to all of those questions. But I think a lot of people don't realize that regardless of the choices that we make, we are still on a path, regardless of what it looks like. And then I realized, at least personally for me, sometimes it's not about choosing a path, but it's realizing that regardless of what we choose, I'll be okay.
Yeah.
I can handle anything.
That's building that trust in yourself, right?
Yeah.
Well, it goes back to that, your idea. Do lessons carry over to another lifetime, Diane? Your show that you did. It's like, do you remember that? That was just 2 days ago for you, or just yesterday?
It was yesterday for me.
But it's that beautiful idea of, well, maybe. Do you want them to? Are you going to engage it this time? Maybe.
that's a person's choice, a soul's choice, whether you want to go into a path or not, or you can stop. That's okay. You can rest, and
Yes.
each soul has that choice. Yeah.
Cool. So what do you think? What are you guys feeling? You want to tap in a little bit? See what's going on out there in the Akash?
Yeah, sure.
You okay, Gerald?
Yes, I was trying to share Diane's video.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
And
Thank you.
I'm going to do that. So if you see me going, it's because I am.
Okay.
That's exactly what I'm doing. But and you know, and the reason I'm sharing this is, you know, I'm a firm believer that people, they find the show they need to find when they find it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And so this is part of that. Is I wonder what would happen if people just accepted, well, that's there and I'm meeting it for a reason. Am I curious about what that reason is? Do I care? And the answer can be, I don't want to deal with this now. That's an acceptable answer.
Mhm.
It's absolutely an acceptable answer. And it's just I am, you know, the world is fraught with meaning if you want it to be. The world is heavy and dark if you want it to be. The world is blooming with opportunities and connections if you want it to be. The world is full of these glimmers and these little light flickers and the opportunity to share something that's free, a smile, just a generous, I see you, and expecting nothing in return. So, okay, thank you for allowing me to go off on my little tangent.
It's all good, Gerald. Can you share the link in the private chat too, so that Tanys
Yes,
might
please.
Of course I can.
Everybody.
I was looking for it and couldn't get it.
It is in the private chat, and essentially, I am.
I'll do it.
By the way, everybody, I'm a big fan of everybody on the screen. I mean, not so much myself, but I like me. It's okay. But Diane G is putting out stuff that people would benefit from experiencing and just have an opportunity to go, huh, okay. Have a cup of tea while you take it in, and okay, I'll stop, Diane.
Thank you so much, Gerald, and I'm a fan of yours.
Well, thank you. Yeah. And by the way, there is a friendly nature upon how we do shows together. You know, the fart show.
Yeah.
Quite funny.
Yeah, we don't take things too seriously.
This is good.
Mm-hmm.
This is good.
No. I mean, yeah. What do you feel like doing, Diane?
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for our hostess. Choice.
Yeah. Well, we kind of talked about whether you wanted to look at some of the lives that we've all had together in one way or another. I think that was kind of what the audience was getting at last time we had you on. About so maybe that would be a good choice, whether it's galactic or Earth or elsewhere. You know, whatever realm it might be that we all hung out together before, because I'm sure we have.
Okay. I'm just gonna open the records.
Thank you.
So let's take 3 deep breaths.
There you go.
Only the highest frequency of love and light can remain in the sacred space, and all objects in the sacred space for the highest good of this group, consisting of myself, Jennifer, Tanys, Gerald, those who are watching right now, those who will join us later, and those who will watch the replay. All other energies must leave now. All other energies must leave now. All other energies must leave now. Now I call in the highest level of the divine that knows that love is the power and the truth from which we read. Our highest level guides and angels to help us with this reading. Archangel Michael and Archangel Metatron, please hold the sacred space. And so it is. And so we do acknowledge the forces of light, asking for guidance, direction, and courage to know the truth as it is revealed for our highest good, the highest good of all, and the most benevolent outcome. Akashic Records Master, Spirit Guides, and Angels, please let us know this group in the light of the Akashic Records and enable us to share the wisdom and compassion that the masters, teachers, and loved ones have for us.
Oh.
Sorry, it was a weather warning.
So Jen and I have a tornado warning, just as a heads up.
Is everything okay? The records are now open.
Yes. That was the buzzing that you've heard from both of us.
Came in.
Yeah, are you guys okay?
Yeah. I'm in the basement. Jen is too. So we're where we.
Kaylee also
alert.
Please keep safe as well, Kaylee.
Yeah. Those of you who are in Ottawa North, Canada, and Orleans, please be careful.
Yes.
Be mindful of your surroundings.
Yeah, we may end up in Oz. She said. Kaylee says we may end up in Oz. We might. Yep. Sorry to interrupt you, Diane.
No worries. So we're interested in knowing like shared life that we had together.
Mm-hmm.
Did we have one, Masters? Aside from this one? Okay, I'm getting a yes that we've been together before.
Mm-hmm.
That's on Earth. We've had an Earth lifetime before. Where we're together. We were all together in Egypt at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Can you please show me? We were all priests and priestesses before. It's just we were in different temples.
Mm-hmm.
I know I was in Temple of Ra. Where was Gerald? Is Gerald a priest? An oracle. So not a priest. Okay, Gerald, they're correcting me. So during that time, you weren't a priest, but you were an oracle.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like a consultant because I'm seeing a noble person, and you were being called, and you look fab as well. Like I'm just seeing you. You look fabulous.
Oh.
I don't have other words for it. I'm sorry. I'm like, is Gerald a noble too?
Of course,
he didn't look like a priest to me, so I'm like, okay,
Gerald.
Well, when you got it, you might as well flaunt it over the lifetimes, kid.
Hey, my grandmother always used to say to me, "Honey, if you got it, flaunt it."
And you didn't even have to flaunt the fan. Other people were fanning you. You had servants to fan you. That's why I'm like, what is happening?
Let me guess. That was Jen and I, right?
Okay. But they're telling me that you were an oracle. And that's kind of like how your family got the nobility status, because your family come from a lineage of consultants of the pharaoh itself during that time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to see where Jennifer and Tanys were during this time. It's not Anubis. Cyrus? This is Temple of Cyrus. Both of them? Okay. I think you were both in the Temple of Osiris, or something that's connected with Osiris, but both of you.
Okay.
And I'm hearing Gerald is unaffiliated. He's free to go wherever he wanted. But the three of us were in temples. Okay. What were we doing? How were we connected during that time? Like during special events is what I'm getting. Like state funerals or the equivalent during that time, we would get to see each other. There were people from different temples who would like get together, plan things for that. And there were like processions where a lot of temples would take part. So we would see each other there. Okay, what's the significance of that lifetime with the one that we have right now? Okay, back then we had like a shared mission. It was to guide and educate people. But what was very surprising about that time is that we thought we would be guiding others. We didn't realize that we would learn more as we teach. And that similar theme is happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because with our shows, that's what I'm seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we take on the role of teachers, way showers, maybe even educators, we learn a lot from the people that we interact with as well. And it's something that we repeat because of that. The teacher becomes the student. And there's something that's beautiful about that. Yeah. That's what I'm getting from that lifetime.
It's very interesting because I was also getting, initially when I was checking in, there was very much a teacher-student role in the sense of very hands-on. You are an apprentice where you learn how to do something. It's very hands-on. It's very practical. And it was the practical application that led the mental development. It was, can you do this with this tool? And when you can do that, then you need to understand, then you get an opportunity to understand why that tool works the way it does and what you do with it. It's sort of backwards, where you book learn and then you actually do the hands-on work. It's the hands-on work first, as we were doing in each of our areas. And definitely education, hands-on work was very critical. Each of us had an area of expertise where we were learning and we were also teaching. And I like how you said we learn, the teacher becomes the student. That's really a lot of fun. I also got one of the things, we all knew each other. But what was great is what people didn't know is that we had our after hours conversations about what was going on and what we were working on. It was like the teacher's lounge where you go, oh, I'm having this issue. Does anybody have any ideas? It was an interesting thing because there's that opportunity to allow that knowledge to not be limited to the container of that temple or that teaching. It helped to give opportunity for new things, new opportunities there, And part of the reason that this was after hours conversations is not everybody understood that. There was not privatization. There was priority. You needed to have, there was a structure around what you could say and what you couldn't say. And what was great, the four of us, we knew exactly what to say without saying anything that would give away the secrets. The other thing is, and Diane, you can check this for me, but we had the long-term sight ability. We were able to see 2 or 3 generations beyond where we were, and we were making some calls based upon that. And we were like, okay, we need to, there's an opportunity to slow this down and to tighten this up. And by the way, we need to get, and I'm just picking on people in the chat, we need to get Thomas from Tarot Your Way and Aaron O'Nugent in the same room around this topic to see what the two of them can share with each other without knowing that they're sharing anything with each other.
Yeah. What's really fascinating with all of this, so Ra and Osiris are, like, if you think about the yin and yang, right? They are the completion of the cycle. So there's like that duality, right? So in ancient texts like the Book of the Dead, Ra is the sun guide, his energy in life, and is working towards like death. And then Osiris, which is the Lord of the underworld, is bringing us into rebirth. And so there's this continuous cycle. And so for us to have been working in those different temples, it was like a completion of the cycle. Now, what's absolutely fascinating, so before the Akashics were the Akashics, we had the Book of Thoth, which in Egypt was what they held all of the records. And I have a memory of a lifetime, and I wasn't sure what temple I was in. I knew I was working with Ra, but it makes sense to also have been working with Osiris, because at that point in time, we're trying to figure it all out. And with what we're talking about, this was actually when the Akashics started to become the Akashics, as opposed to being just the Book of Thoth.
Awesome.
That's curious. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That combination of ideas is part of what started that development.
I just got chills.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was a curious thing, because we were friends. I mean, we just were, because I don't think we knew each other as we were younger. We met as adults, and we sort of got that rhythm and that routine that sometimes you just sort of know that person. It's like, oh yeah, I know you, and I get you. I get your sense of humor, and part of it was we had each met at key cycles in our own personal storylines. And those personal storylines, they sort of pinged and they acknowledged the other ones. I can't say that they activated it, but I could say they activated it. Sort of,
Yeah.
It's just like it's just a bit of fun in that, but there was also an underlying. There was an underlying heaviness for what was going on for us, and in the understanding, we worked really hard at understanding different opinions were just different opinions. They weren't meant to battle things or to diminish. They were just meant to stretch. The part of the challenge was there were too many people around who were led by the emotional weight of things instead of the curiosity of it. Mm-hmm. So, and yes, I was a free agent. I could go anywhere I wanted, and I did go anywhere I wanted, oftentimes where I wasn't wanted. Mm-hmm. And hi, it's Gerald. Of course, I loved doing that.
Yeah.
Because that bigger picture thing, the bigger picture thing is simply by being seen, certain things were pulled back. They were, people slowed down a bit. Oh, you know, there's that Gerald, you know, hush, don't do anything yet. We got to make sure he's out of the room, sort of thing. I don't know if that sounds egotistical. If it does, my apologies.
No,
I think it could be taken a few ways.
Yeah, you could go anywhere and no one questioned you,
yeah,
because your family had power during that time. It was very fascinating.
But also, nobody wanted to get on his bad side.
Yeah.
But I feel like you went from temple to temple, as you're saying, for information, and you would like bring it back to the group. Mm-hmm. And we would share that as different thoughts.
Yeah, I got full chills on that, because part of what it was, and it feels like there was maybe one or two others that were in this after hours conversation, to where what we would do is we took all of those things and went, oh, I wonder what happens if we do put a little bit of this with a little bit of that and do the alchemy of it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And this was the and what I'm getting, it's the alchemy of instruction. Mm-hmm. It's how do we share this information differently than it was before? Because that, you know, it was more about the, well, you know, if Gerald's having trouble understanding what it means in the book, then let's give him some crayons and some paper and ask him to draw what this would look like, instead of making him get up and do it on the chalkboard. It would be that give everybody that opportunity to go, all right, what would that look like?
It was a way for you to understand things that you didn't. I mean, you going from temple to temple. But I feel like there was also some political instability during that time, is what I'm getting. Like, I saw a state funeral, or someone of power dying, and there was this huge procession. So it created like this power vacuum, and people were trying to grab that power. Mm-hmm. So it created some political instability during the time that we were there, and that was really where your information came in very handy. Mm-hmm. Because we weren't exactly expected to have a say in that, but of course during that time it's like politics and religion were intertwined in many ways. Mm-hmm. So it was very helpful what you did, Gerald, when you were passing information from temple to temple. It's not something that only you benefited from. Everyone benefited from it.
Linda, I wonder if I was there. This is all sounding so
Linda, I wouldn't be surprised.
There were a couple of others.
Yeah. One of you, and I do not believe it was me, during the political unrest and the difficulty, did a little bit of matchmaking per se. So instead of so-and-so had to, marry this person, it wasn't that, but it was setting things up to where opportunities for people and alliances to be created simply by creating that opportunity. And it wasn't necessarily a romance, but it was, and I'm getting full body chills on it. It was about alliances and understanding to that.
Yeah.
You feeling that too, Diane?
Yeah, when you mentioned that, I got chills too.
Yeah.
Full body chills.
Yeah, and part of it was really interestingly, because I'm looking at the records and I'm seeing the symbols. I'm also seeing the little light strings. You all know that when I'm looking at the records and the light language of them, oftentimes, when I'm looking at the symbols, I will see lights on those symbols, and then I will also see lights connecting to other symbols. So there's a string that's there. Part of what would happen is there was an opportunity to go, I wonder what happens if I go like that, if I pluck that string to see what would happen. And it was part of that may have been my role as the oracle, because I could get into a state of liminal space and you could all ask questions. And so there was a I can't call it channeling, but it's different than channeling. It's the observing. It's the witnessing of what the ripple effect is.
Yeah. And you can tie things together. That was your gift.
Yeah.
You see patterns. And then you realize, oh, this event was connected to this one. So if I connect this string to that string, this could happen. That was part of your gift as an oracle and an alchemist. It's like a fusion of gifts for you, Gerald.
Mm.
Yeah. And the pulling of the strings to bring the people together were not random in any way, shape, or form. They very much came from seeing the strings and connections and what needed to happen. Just so fascinating, right? Because again, in the forming of the Akashics, one of the biggest pieces was, how does everything get tied together? How do things fit? And how do we make the connections so that every possibility of everything that anybody is ever going to experience can all be held in something?
Mm.
Right? And here we are, a very extensive string theory model of how everything is truly connected through all of the layers.
It's really very interesting. I will also venture that some of the odd ideas that y'all came back with, and I'm saying y'all, some of those were inspired by the stars and observations and interesting dreams that one would have.
Yeah, that was galactic connection in that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm going to have to be looking at the Book of Thoth and how it evolved into the Akashic.
The Akashic Records, yeah.
Yeah. It's very cool.
I will too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And this is not the Emerald Tablet. I know that gets confused sometimes. It's different. This is a collection. It's like its own library of texts.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I'm seeing us doing a lot of ceremonial stuff together in terms of, like, we didn't just get together and talk, we would do things in those circles. So doing alchemy in those times, energy alchemy, in order to bring in the energies to do what we needed to do, what we needed to accomplish, and blending those in various configurations. And I think that's part of, it's almost like Okay, that's interesting. So I'm almost seeing us standing around like this center thing, and it's like we spin the energy. So it's kind of like creating a portal where we're spinning the energy. So I'm sort of seeing us all around this center spiral of energy. So that's where this alchemy piece is coming in. It sounds like a movie about magic, but that's what I'm seeing is like this spinning of energy in the center.
I'm very curious in the sense of there was a very high code of ethics for what we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Diane, you're getting that too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like there were expectations on how we would behave.
Yeah.
Especially when we're in front of people. I feel like that's why we're more comfortable when we're in that after hour space with each other, because we understand the pressure and we understand the expectations.
Yeah. Part of the, I'll call it magic. Part of what we were each doing is with the code of magic, and as you were saying, Tanys, we were doing the energetic alchemy. Our code was to always allow free will to exist and to never force someone to do something they didn't want to do. And then that was a key thing in the sense of here, that's why the words were chosen. Here are opportunities. Pick which one you want. And as teachers, students who part of the critique, for lack of a better word, about the work was understanding their process of making that choice. How did they think about it?
Mm-hmm. Either one of us or one of the other two was very diligent about being a scribe. I'm seeing like a book, and they're very much about.
That would probably have been me.
Very much like it's like this big. I mean, it would have been papyrus made, but it was like a bundle of sheets with markings on them, hieroglyphics, obviously. So there was like records kept about these meetings, and I felt, for me, it feels as though it's like, I'm not sure if it's like underground, but it feels like in cave-like feeling. Like it was not, because we were sort of hiding what we were doing. I don't think it was all there, but that's where I was seeing the swirling of the energy. It was in that type of place.
Yeah. Kath MJ said, FYI, for those local to Ottawa, I just received a tornado warning for Canada
and Gatineau. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
I also think we had a written code language that, so that those records were private. They were sacred.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think we may have actually been meeting in the Temple of Osiris.
Mm.
Because if that's the one I'm thinking of, it is underground.
Yeah, it feels like that. It feels like it's like,
mm-hmm.
Like hidden.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can't say I know much about the Temple of Osiris. Not in this lifetime, anyhow.
We're gonna have to search for it, Gerald, after the show. Me too. But what I was feeling when I was checking the records is that it felt cold.
Yeah.
So underground would make sense. Yeah. I felt cold.
That's what it feels like cold and damp almost.
I just remember
even though
reading
it's in the desert.
the thought of the underworld, that his part of his tomb was subterranean. Like I just remembered that, and I thought that was interesting. Like
Nice.
that it was correlated in that way. So when you said that, we were like, I thought, oh, I wonder, since we're, you know, priestesses of that, and I do think that Ra and Osiris, because they were the ones who wanted the shift to happen. So I think, yes, we were operating in secret, but in secret to the general population and to maybe other, you know, others that were, you know, even other priests and priestesses and things like that. But I don't think that we were working in secret for them. Like I think that they were actually overseeing the project, and not overseeing it like watching us, but overseeing it in like, you that we've chosen to do this are going to be doing this, and here's what we want.
Yeah.
It's funny because for those of you who don't know, a lot of times I'm shuffling cards while I'm doing Akashic record work. And while we were talking about the temple space, I got the Hermit. So of course it's in a very private space.
Mm-hmm.
I also, for me, energetically, whenever I feel cold energy, it's very deep ancestor energy.
Mm.
So it's like what we were working with was older energy, and we were working in that sense. So
Very cool.
So
So that was quite a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do we know what sexes we were?
Oh, I was male in that lifetime. Gerald was male.
Mm-hmm.
Tanys, you were a male in that lifetime, and Jennifer, you were female. Yeah, that's what I'm getting.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Because the two of them were I don't want to say a unit, but counterparts working together. So there was that.
But we've done that in how many lifetimes? 1,300 and some. We got last show.
What lifetime number is this?
Oh my God. Oh yeah. What lifetime number is this?
Yeah.
Wow. Go ahead, Diane.
No, I was just asking the records if there's anything else that we want to put forward from that lifetime.
Yeah.
It's really fascinating as you're asking that, because, you know, that idea of teaching and how we learn as we teach. And, you know, I know for myself and from, you know, what you guys have shared, though I don't know your whole journeys, that tapping into the records, doing all of this work, that the process of learning it was so unique for each of us. And the way that we tap in is also unique for each of us. And I just think that that's really quite fascinating. It's like we each have a different doorway that was kind of created into them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
And it's so cool that you said that, because when I asked the question, if there's anything that they want to put forward, it's that mission. They wanted to reiterate how similar the mission that we had back then in Egypt is to what we have right now. So yeah, that's what they wanted to bring forward. It's just that the remembrance of the mission that we had in that lifetime.
Well, and I think Jen and I have talked in the class that we teach together, the Peacekeepers, we're always learning at the same time as when we're teaching, you know, and I all of the classes I teach are like that as well. There's always like stuff that comes up, or I'll be teaching and they'll bring something through and it'll come out of my mouth and I'll be like, oh, thanks, that's cool. So I learn as I teach.
It's like we have the same idea in an ether,
Mhm.
and one of us, it doesn't matter which one, but one of us would get that idea and say what the other one is thinking. It's very cool. It's amazing.
That's awesome.
I would also say, because I was like going, okay, what do we need to remember from this lifetime together and bring that forward? Focus on, here you go. Focus on the temperance of what we're doing, the balance.
Yeah.
And focus on that and be very aware of not allowing the disappointment of the sorrow that surrounds us to distract us from that temperance, because I have temperance, I have the high priestess. I don't know, somebody here is a high priestess. I don't know. But also the oh look, and the star, maybe there's some galactic influence for you there. I don't know. But be very aware of not, be aware of what the disappointment is that goes on, and not just disappointment, of the emotions that are there, and understand how those emotions can be part of the temperance of the experience of this lifetime. Yeah. If you do anything with magic, emotion is a really key point to it. If you can feel something, you can help do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's that fuel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Diane, I was just like going, is there anything specific for Diane? I got the Two of Wands. What that is saying for me is you are creating a doorway that is clear, and you're able to walk through it. And what's beautiful is as you walk through that doorway, the doorway is going to stay open. It's not going to close behind you. So others will be able to learn and to be able to build from it. This is you doubling your personal power.
Beautiful. That's awesome.
Thank you, Gerald.
You're welcome.
Lovely.
Wow.
Oh.
I can't believe the time is where it is.
Yeah.
We might need to do this in a longer show. If you guys are up for that, maybe we do it again in a special, as a special.
Well, and speaking of shows, is there a show going on or something like that people need to know about?
Yeah.
Very interesting that you mentioned that, Gerald.
Yeah.
Because this Friday, something special is going to happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jen and Diane and myself are doing Story of the Stars. It's a brand new show. And we're really looking forward to sharing that with all of you. It was born the last time we had the show together. When we were all together, we were like, oh. And then we talked about it, and then we had chills. And we were like, okay, we're supposed to do this. Yeah. So Friday night, guys. Is it 7 or 7:30 we had?
I think it's 7:30.
I think 7:30. Yeah. So come and join us for the brand new show, Story of the Stars.
Very nice.
A galactic version.
Yeah. So everyone, if you're interested in learning more about our galactic history, perhaps, or your own galactic history, yeah, please drop by on Friday. We'd love to see you there.
Absolutely. Please like and subscribe to all of our stuff too, so you know when we're coming up. Gerald, have you got anything else coming up that you want to mention?
I have a show later today. It's the top of next hour. It's the Mystic 4, where we're doing readings. I have other shows coming up this week that I will be scheduling tonight and tomorrow. So be there. Feel free to join us.
So make sure we like and subscribe so you get notified when.
Make sure you like and subscribe, yes.
So that way you get notified.
Yeah, and what's very awesome about all of that. Liking and subscribing is free.
It
So
is.
everyone can do it. Please.
And what is it if you give the video a thumbs up, it increases your intelligence points by 30 points. Is that right?
I
Or is
think,
that
yeah. Or
is
either 30 or 35.
30 or 35? I think it
Mhm.
depends upon how enthusiastically people.
So like
Yes.
you could do this, or you could do this, or you could
Or
do
it's like,
this.
Oh, and if somebody hypes it, I think they get free ice cream or their free favorite dessert when they go out, something like that. But we're still waiting for the science to come back on that.
it's all on a karmic record somewhere.
Yeah.
Awesome. And Diane, what have you got going on this week?
So I will be back on Wednesday with Linda Gonzalez on our show, Into the Aether. So we do oracle card readings and Akashic Records readings on that show as well. So if you're interested in getting a mini reading from us, yeah, please do check our channel out.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And Jen?
I got Story of the Stars on Friday that we already talked about. And just the regular messages. I apologize that I got the weekly update out today as opposed to yesterday. And that means that the Mystic Monday message will be out at some point later today. But it is coming. And I know I'm a little behind, but we're, I'm going with the flow. And it is what it is.
It's still Monday.
Yeah.
We're allowed.
And life happens.
Exactly.
And everyone who got the tornado warning, please keep safe.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And we have support group on Saturday.
And we have support group on Saturday.
So our support group is with Beyond Being Human. And Jen and I go on a call, and it is free and confidential, and we just support each other and hang out.
Yes.
So beyondbeinghuman.org/support-groups.
Yes. And you can go there and you find us and you can register for it. And you get to be on Zoom with us. No recording or live, but live in the sense that we're, hanging together and chatting.
Yeah.
I did pull a home play card for us.
Please.
And of course, I pulled it out and went, of course, because I pulled it out as you were speaking, Gerald. Honor your emotions. So, it says your emotions are great wisdom keepers that guide you through the mysterious realms of the sacred feminine. Your feelings are messengers of valuable information. Do not fear the message these emotions are trying to deliver. They are not trying to harm you. They just want to be felt. In your world, you have been trained to push your feelings away, and this has caused great imbalance. Your feelings are sacred. Honor them and know that it is okay to feel hurt or angry. The emotional body is often misunderstood and needs your light to shine into the darkness. Because some of your emotions are painful, it is easy to be afraid of them. Feelings seem to come unbidden and unpredictably in any given moment. But we grandmothers know that feelings are much wiser than that. They appear for a reason. Let the feelings flow through you, grandchild. Emotions come in waves and peak and flow like the ocean. Feel them all the way through to the end. We promise they will end. The Creator gave you the emotional body to remind you when you have forgotten your connection to the love of creation. Connect now and your feelings and feel our loving embrace. We are always with you.
Beautiful.
That's great.
Final thoughts, anyone?
All of us do private readings if you want private readings.
We do. Yep.
So if you want something of your own, feel free to contact us.
Yep. Contact stuff is in the notes below, in our blurbs, and of course, underneath right now. So you can find us there. Beautiful. Well, it was such an honor, you guys. That was so much fun.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us. And we thank all of you as well for coming and being with us, whether it's live now or in a later time. It's all the same, right? There is no time and space. So we ask you all to have a wonderful week, and we will see you all very soon. Take care now.